Hi, I'm Jim Stroud, and this is my podcast. Have you ever felt that you could get more work done if you were not inundated with emails, or worse yet, inundated with meetings? I've been in corporate environments where it felt like there was a meeting to prepare you for the next meeting before we have the actual meeting. If you can relate to any of that, you definitely want to tune in to this episode of the Jim Stroud podcast. I had an interview with Aleksandra Sulimko, who is the Chief Human Resource Officer for a company called TheSoul Publishing. And they have implemented a no meetings policy. Yes, a no meeting policy. They stress productivity, they stress efficiency, and they feel that to have the ultimate level of efficiency, you should greatly reduce the time you spend meeting with each other. So, very interesting conversation. I think you will get a lot from it. I hope it inspires a lot of you to start a no meetings policy at your company, because I'm quite sold on the benefits of it. But hey, that's just me. Let's see what you think after listening to this next episode, which begins right after this. This episode of the Jim Stroud podcast is brought to you by Source Owls. Source Owls is an online platform that brings together thousands of experienced executive recruiters with hiring managers to fill pressing human capital needs quickly and efficiently.
Are you looking to improve your recruitment results while lowering the cost per hire? Wouldn't it be great if you could name your price for each placement? Source Owls uses a breakthrough recruitment ecosystem that delivers high-quality candidates quickly and at a significant cost savings. Here's how it works. Source Owls puts you in control with its Name Your Price model. That's right, you name your price for each hire. We partner with thousands of niche recruiters across the country. Our recruiter ecosystem grows daily as we add new recruiters to the platform. You select what recruiters you want to work with and create teams for different job types. Imagine using one vendor agreement to tap into an ever-growing community of successful recruiters. These recruiters have a minimum of 5 years of experience and are eager to work on your recruiting projects. The platform is simplistically designed with talent pipeline management, so you will always know where your candidates are in the interviewing process. With 80+ automated notifications, candidates and recruiters are updated seamlessly. The results are guaranteed, and there is no cost to post your jobs. Source Owls allows you to take control of the recruitment process. You have never encountered recruiting like this before. Go to our website and start posting your first job now, or schedule a demo with us.
To learn more about how Source Owls can produce results for you, click the link in the podcast description. Hello and welcome to the Jim Stroud podcast. Today we have a very special guest. Special guest, tell us, who are you and what do you do?
Hi everyone, my name is Aleksandra Sulimko and I am Chief HR Officer at TheSoul Publishing, and thank you for having me here today.
Yes, thank you for being here. I heard something very unusual about your company that really intrigued me. You guys are really efficient in your processes, so much so you have this thing called a no meeting policy, which definitely intrigued me. Can you explain to me what your organization's no meeting policy is and how it came about?
Yes, absolutely. The Soul Publishing is a hub of creators, and we operate in 70 countries and in different time zones. And of course, for us, efficiency, this is a number one question. And we have quite unique policies in our company, and one of them is zero meeting policy. And I'm sure that a lot of people, they already maybe know how it works, but I think we are quite professional, let me explain this way, in how to implement zero meeting policy and induce productivity within our creative company.
Interesting. When I hear a no meeting policy, I imagine that there's some challenges with that. I mean, there's probably some people who say I got to have a meeting, but I mean, how do you reconcile that when you absolutely have to have one, when you have a no meeting policy? How do you reconcile that?
Yeah, of course, we have challenges, and many of them we can connect with newcomers, because we hire a lot of people with different background. And of course, they know how to be super efficient in their current environment, how to present information and be the part of discussions during offline meetings. And of course, when they join the Soul Publishing, when they can face with difficulties, how to adopt fast to these changes and how to be the part of the team. And this is one of the reasons why we implemented in parallel fully online onboarding process for our newcomers, and we invested a lot to this, because for us it's really important to be on the same wave with all our employees. And it was the most, let's say, difficult part of implementation this culture, how help to connect current employees with newcomers and help them to operate at the same level of meetings and other policies in the company.
Have you seen an increase in productivity because of this policy?
Yes, for us, productivity, of course, very important. And time to time, we receive feedback. And furthermore, we have annual survey, how are you, with the part of our zero meeting policy. And we ask our employees to share their feedback. Is it like still benefit for them, or maybe they can change anything? So it's like open questions. And every time we receive very positive feedback from employees and from managers. And I think every one of us had this poor experience when you're part of the meeting and you don't know what is going on here. Yeah, you was invited, or nobody understands which reason. And here at the Soul Publishing, we don't have these useless meetings. And this is, today I can say, this is one of our benefits in the company, our very specific productive culture. And the second example I can share with you, it's easy to open Google Calendar, which we use in the company, and just to calculate numbers of meetings our employees have. So usually employees, they have maybe like 5-7 meetings per day. Our employees, they have 1-2 per week. And this is obvious that they can invest their time into product development and to help our audience to enjoy our products and have fun.
Interesting. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, because I've worked at different corporate offices like throughout my career, and meetings are like every 5 minutes, and it's always driving me crazy. So this is like a dream for me. I'm imagining that workers are, I guess, sending more emails to one another, and it's how you communicate more than anything else, just a bunch of emails. And is that right?
Yes, but we don't use emails internally in the company. So we don't have meetings, we don't have emails. And one of our employees who became from like candidate, our employee, he shared with me his like personal impression about the company. And it was very important for me. He said to me, like, I'm like at the resort, not in the corporate culture, because previously I was focused for the meetings and checking emails several times per day. And here, I don't even have email. I don't need to check my emails in the morning, because instead of emails, of course, we use Asana tool, which help us to track our projects and tasks. And this is like more convenient than regular emails. So as I said to you before, like we have very unique company. We don't have meetings. We don't have emails. This is like a company of dreams, and our culture of course help us to increase productivity and efficiency for our creators.
No meetings, no emails, and you sort of manage communication through some kind of internal tool. I guess I'm envisioning some sort of like a blog tool or a wiki kind of tool. Everybody sort of communicates on that.
Yes. So actually, we have free tools to improve our internal communication. So we use Asana, as I said before, like project management tool. Confluence we use as a wiki and information sharing, and actually we make decisions in the Confluence because we can keep comments, and you can every time to add your thoughts there, and it's really boost our creative process. We use Slack as a messenger, and at the same time, we do not expect that you reply me immediately, during offline communication.
Wow. Have you faced any resistance or pushback from employees who say, although I can imagine it, would say we need more meetings? Has that ever happened? And if so, how did you address it?
Of course, we faced with challenges, and I can share you several examples about that.
Please.
Newcomers, for them, it's really amazing that, of course, they want to reduce amount of meetings in their calendar, but at the same time, we don't know how to start. They don't know how to proceed, so they need some instructions from managers and from HR team as well. And actually, for newcomers, it's more difficult than for current employees, because we implemented this zero meeting policy before pandemic came, unfortunately, in our life. And we have meetings, of course, in the company, one-to-ones, performance appraisal. So people, they need people. And if you need to provide feedback to your employee, so it's always better to make personal, rather than use Asana or Slack or something like this.
Wow. Have you noticed any differences in the decision making within your organization as a result of this policy? Are people just sort of stepping up and doing more, taking on more, or how's the decision making going? I'm just sort of curious.
I think we can discuss here 2 points. So the first of all is quality of decision making, and the second is speed of decision making. So when you need to put your thoughts in Confluence or any other document, you respect your peers. You need to think several times and formulate a core message which you want to provide and make it clear to everyone. And it's very polite and respectful for team. And at the same time, in terms of decision-making speed, so we don't need to collect all the people into the conference room or Zoom call to discuss everything. So every single employee who involved in the process can easily access the doc, share thoughts, and after that receive a reply or even notification about that. And actually now they see that where quality and speed of decision making increase dramatically.
What advice would you give to other organizations considering implementing a no meeting policy? Would you tell them definitely do it, don't do it? What would you tell them?
Of course, as an employee who works in this policy, of course, I want to engage as much as possible other companies into zero meeting policy. And the first thing you need to start, you need to engage your managers and find tools for support this culture, because it's not about meetings only. So I think it's obvious. It's about cultural changes and employee behavior you want to implement within the company. So you need definitely ambassadors. You need tools. You need to be prepared, communicate a lot about these changes and provide positive examples internally in the company, or maybe use some other examples, for example, like TheSoul Publishing does. So be prepared. It's not about just implementing zero meeting policy. It's cultural change.
Were you there prior to the no meeting policy? Because I'm sort of curious as what the transition would have been like. Has it always been in place since the company started, or is it something new that you implemented? How did that work?
We were started before pandemic, and actually at 2020, it was, like a demand in the company that we need to enforce implementation of zero meeting policy, because we are a remote first company and we need to support our productivity. And I can say that in 2020, we focused a lot for the development tools to support zero meeting policy, and at the same time to invest a lot into onboarding process. and to re-onboarding process as well for our current employees to help them to connect with newcomers and with our internal processes. So I can say it took time, of course, and a lot of efforts from our employees and from our managers. And it's not like one day change. So
Sure.
you need to be prepared to invest a lot of attention here.
Yeah, when you say a lot of attention to it, I know someone's listening and they're thinking, I would love to do this, but there are going to be problems in some kind of way. What would you say might be some unforeseen challenges or maybe some unintended consequences as a result of this no meeting policy? What should people be looking for, maybe not expect for this?
That you need to change your mindset, first of all, of your employees, yeah, and change the communication. I think this is the most tricky point when you implement this type of culture, and you need to support it and to find really good role models and to demonstrate to them how it really works, because like the HR people are here, yeah, so then you try and just to explain why it's really good and beneficial for you and all this stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't work sometimes, yes, so you need to provide great examples and find teams and maybe to implement wave by wave into several steps between the company to have like role models and showcases to present to employees.
Okay. Does your no meeting policy extend to external meetings with clients, partners, or stakeholders? If so, how do you manage those relationships effectively?
This is my favorite question. Yes, of course, engage our external customers and partners into zero meeting policy, but of course, no. Of course, no. For external partners, we can meet and usually meet with the pleasure with them, and we do not plan to expand like this policy to our customers and partners, of course.
Okay. Only in-house. I got it. How do you foster a culture of accountability and responsibility within your organization under this policy?
Yeah, and actually, this is one of core reasons, the reason why we decided to implement it. So our people, they are creative and they need to have time and to invest this time into product development, first of all. And they to have high level of autonomy during the day. And when you have a lot of meetings during the day, you have to build your time around this meeting just to find space and to organize yourself a bit differently. And of course, it's like works like baby steps. So first of all, you need to arrange your like personal time during the day and understand that you are fully responsible for the result, and you don't need to have these like status meetings and something like that. So you just need to create product and be responsible for that. So of course, in terms of people behavior, it really helps to improve accountability and autonomy.
I bet. Have you noticed any changes in employee morale or job satisfaction since implementing this no meeting policy?
Yes, and I have numbers, and here I have metrics. Our employees, yes, we're a great place to work, and this is one of examples. And we have different surveys, and of course we have surveys for newcomers and for our talents, and regularly collect these like satisfaction rates about like our zero meeting policy.
Okay. Wow, I am just so fascinated by this. I hope this becomes a trend.
I can send you our vacancies, by the way, probably, and just apply, and you will check over like important process.
I may have to look into that.
Be our ambassador, please.
I may have to do that. You've been very generous with your time. Is there anything I have not asked you that you think, oh, I wish you had asked me this because I would have said that? Is there anything I have not asked you that you wanted to maybe share with the audience?
I think at the end of this conversation, I just want to share that this is the first step, and not an easy into implementation, but very beneficial at the end, just to help your employees to focus to productivity and help them to be fully to have full autonomy at workplace. And I don't remember any case when our employees came to HR or maybe to managers and shared we need to have 10 meetings per day. I don't know what to do. I want that somebody else come to me and help me to organize my time. And I think this is the best feedback we can receive when we implement cultural changes, because it really works.
Well, as I said, I really hope this inspires companies towards policies like this. Again, you've been very generous with your time. If someone wanted to get in contact with you or to learn more about the no meeting policies or about the Soul Publishing altogether, how can they contact you?
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy to connect with colleagues via LinkedIn and via our career page. They have our HR contacts. I'm always open to for discussions and maybe to help them to make the first steps, which are actually very difficult. And of course, would be happy to continue this conversation with HR people.
Very good. Very good. Well, I will make it easier on the audience. I'll also put links to your company in the podcast description. So if you're listening, just scroll down to the podcast description. You'll see the links there. Thank you so much for your time. This has been enlightening and I hope inspirational for a lot of companies. Take the meetings away, especially when things can be done through Slack or an email. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, my time is up. I thank you for yours. I'll see you again real soon right here with a brand new episode of the Jim Stroud Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I can be reached by email at jimstroud@jimstroud.com. And one last favor, if I may ask, please rate this podcast. 5 stars is preferred, but please comment with your honest opinion. I really appreciate that. All right? Okay, until next time, bye-bye.